Let's just jump right into this explainer on Bhangarh Fort. We're talking about a massive 17th century Rajasthani citadel that absolutely blurs the line between historical marvel and chilling paranormal legend. Today, we're going to explore the stone walls of a place that has completely captured the imagination of ghost hunters, historians, and thrill seekers from all over the globe. Now, here is the thing that really gets me. What's truly unprecedented about this place is this exact quote. It's not just a myth, you guys. This is a very real, government-issued warning from the Archaeological Survey of India plastered right there at the gates. Bhangarh is literally the only historical site in India with a strict, legal ban on entering the premises after dark. I mean, that immediately sets an incredibly eerie, high-stakes tone before you even walk up the dirt road to the ruins. So, this naturally leads us to ask, why? What could possibly prompt the government to issue such a strict warning? Why would a beautiful, historical monument be legally sealed up tight at night unless there was something, well, beyond logic inside? That question is exactly what hooks us into the duality of this place. We're going to dig into both the spooky folklore and the hard, undeniable facts. India's most haunted fort. The thing is, visitors aren't just making vague claims about getting bad vibes. They report highly specific, consistent sensory experiences. We're talking about people hearing the sound of unseen anklets clinking near the empty Someshwar temple tank. There are reports of sudden technological failures, like camera batteries just completely draining the literal second they cross the threshold into the fort. Throw in sudden extreme drops in temperature right in the middle of the desert heat, and, well, these incredibly consistent reports have absolutely cemented its terrifying reputation. Section 2. The Sorcerer and the Curse. Okay, so to understand the dread, we have to talk about the local legend. It tells the tragic story of Princess Ratnavati, who is known far and wide for her beauty. Enter a tantric, a dark magician, named Singhia, who became completely obsessed with her. Knowing she'd never look his way, he actually enchanted a bottle of perfume oil meant for her with a dark love potion. But the princess was sharp. She sensed the dark magic and hurled the bottle against a massive boulder. The spell was so strong, it caused the boulder to come alive, rolling over and crushing the sorcerer. With his absolute dying breath, Singhia cursed the entire city, declaring no one would ever live there in peace again. And shortly after, the city fell. But wait, there's actually another, totally different legend. This one blames the fort's ruin on a sadhu, an ascetic named Baba Balanath. He allowed the fort to be built on his land, but with one absolute non-negotiable condition. The shadow of the palace must never fall upon his retreat. Well, as the story goes, ambitious royals eventually built the palace a little too high. The shadow fell on his home, and boom, that triggered the destruction of the entire fort town. Section 3. History and Architectural Brilliance. Now let's pull back from the spooky stuff for a second, because behind those ghost stories lies a genuine, historically significant stronghold. It was established way back in 1573 by Raja Bhagwan Das for his son Madho Singh, and this place was massive. In the 17th century, it was a thriving, bustling trade center right on the route between Delhi and Jaipur. It only entered a period of gradual abandonment much later in the 18th century. Historians actually suggest this was likely due to severe famine, droughts, or regional conflicts, not a magical curse. Today, it stands as a beautifully preserved archaeological ruin. It's honestly wild to contrast those dark, gloomy legends with the actual physical reality of the place, because the architecture is stunning. The Gopinath and Someshwar temples are incredible examples of the Nagara style. I mean, the Gopinath temple is built on a massive 14-foot raised plinth with these gorgeous yellow stone carvings. Then you've got the Royal Palace, which originally towered 7 stories high on a sloping terrain, and the Johari Bazaar, this huge, expansive marketplace featuring grand avelis with hidden staircases. It was an incredibly advanced, beautiful city. Modern research really backs this up. A study from the International Journal for Multidisciplinary Research points out that Bhangarh was actually a crucial strategic military asset. It was built with this visionary foresight to protect the state's eastern borders. Plus, the architecture is a brilliant cultural synthesis of Mughal and Rajput styles. Before it fell, this was a vibrant center for artists, scholars, and musicians. Section 4. Science Behind the Shadows. So what happens when we put these deeply held cultural beliefs head-to-head with modern science?
It is absolutely fascinating. On one hand, you have the lingering dark magic and doomed spirits, but on the other hand, we have totally measurable scientific explanations. We're talking about high electromagnetic fields, ancient acoustic architecture that physically distorts the sound of normal footsteps, making them echo in super eerie ways, and something really wild called infrasound.
Let's talk about infrasound for a second, because it is a major piece of the puzzle here. These are sound waves with frequencies so low, they're actually below the threshold of human hearing. They are naturally generated by wind whipping through the Aravalli Hills or even subtle geological movements. Now here is the kicker. Even though your ears can't hear these waves, your body still feels them. Infrasound is scientifically proven to cause intense feelings of panic, anxiety, and dread. So this totally natural phenomenon can actually trick your brain into feeling a sense of impending doom. It perfectly explains why so many people feel completely terrified in Bhangarh without ever actually seeing a ghost. Add human psychology into the mix, and it's a perfect storm. First off, expectation bias. You arrive at India's most haunted fort, heavily primed to see ghosts, which literally wires your brain to misinterpret a normal shifting shadow as a spirit. Then factor in the environment. It is a remote, isolated, barren landscape. And wildlife. The fort is practically right next door to the Sorcerer Tiger Reserve. Leopards, tigers, and macaws frequently roam the ruins after dark. Honestly, when you mix a remote location, nearby apex predators, and the expectation of the supernatural, of course your mind is going to turn the natural world into a paranormal nightmare. Section 5. Visiting the Forbidden Ruins. Okay, so if you are feeling brave enough to actually go check out these silent bazaars and intricate temples for yourself, keep a few practical tips in mind. Try to go between October and March to dodge the extreme summer heat, and aim for the early morning if you want a quieter experience. It's about an 85-kilometer drive from Jaipur over some pretty rough roads, but it pairs perfectly with a trip to the Sorcerer Tiger Reserve. Definitely wear comfortable shoes, travel in a group, and I really cannot stress this enough, make absolutely sure you are out of those gates before sunset.
So, what do you think? Is Bhangarh Fort truly cursed by the dying breath of a dark sorcerer? Or is it simply a beautiful, silent ruin whose unique environment just happens to perfectly amplify our most deep-seated human fears? Whether you find yourself leaning towards the chilling magic of the old legends or the cold, fascinating logic of science, Bhangarh is without a doubt an unforgettable intersection of history and mystery. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the world around you.